This is Orkadowski of WeAreChange.org, and we are joined by the one and only Gerald Celente. We are here in Kingston, New York. Occupy Peace just ended. It was a great event. People from all political spectrums are speaking here. What is your overall take from today's event, Gerald?
The energy was sensational. The passion is real. And we have a program that people believe in. They know that we're on the path to the greatest war of the 21st century. How many more people have to wash up on the shores of all of these countries? Whether they're on little boys in Greece, on Turkey, families being killed as they're trying to escape countries that have been bombed out by the United States and its coalition of the killing. So the people here were here because they are concerned about this endless war on terror that is not only draining us of our very limited resources, both economic and human, but the immorality of it all. So people have had enough. And that's what Occupy Peace is. It's the beginning of a new age of America. It was an historic beginning at the most historic four corners in the United States. The only place where there's a pre-Revolutionary War building on each corner. And the importance of it is that the people understand that the only thing that the military-industrial complex in Washington have to show for this is failure. Now you tell me. How many successes can the military add up? Let me know one. Let's talk. Libya, great job. Gaddafi has to go. Oh, yeah, he's going, and now the place is going to hell. Yep. Totally destroyed. Assad has to go. Look at Syria. Hussein has to go. Look at Iraq, over 1 million dead. We got to get rid of them Taliban, I tells you. Who are the refugees? They're coming from Afghanistan. They're coming from Iraq. They're coming from Libya. They're coming from Syria. They're coming from Yemen now because the United States and its coalition of the killing are slaughtering the poorest people in the Middle East for doing nothing. Nothing. They didn't invade anybody. So that's what this movement is about, to bring peace and prosperity back to America rather than more war over there and robbing us of our rights over here.
It's definitely a very important and well-needed movement. Being in places like Japan and seeing people struggle economically, protesting the U.S. military-industrial complex there, seeing the suicide numbers go up, seeing families and grandmothers in Greece at the lines at the ATMs, you know, that feeling of that is something wrong is everywhere around the world. And I think Occupy Peace is a very important movement that I think should galvanize people, and I'm very happy you're doing it. Now, one thing I wanted to talk to you about is a lot of people, every year, people always say something big is going to happen economically. Something big is going to happen geopolitically. Every summer, people are saying something's going to happen. This year, people are saying it's going to happen a lot more. They're also talking about the Shemitah, the 7-year cycle. They're talking about all these other things. From your research, from everything that you've been involved in, what do you think is possibly going to happen?
We had forecast on August 6th that there's going to be a equity market meltdown globally. You're going to start seeing equity market panics. Where it happens first, I don't know. And this is a risky thing because they always come up with schemes undreamed of. So whoever would have dreamt that we would now are going into our 10th year that the Federal Reserve has never raised interest rates, and we're at 0. Who would have ever believed that they'd come up with something called quantitative easing? Or if I'm Japanese, we'll call it Abenomics. Hey, you came back from Japan, right? Hey, look at that GDP, right down the toilet, as we would have said in the Bronx. Toilet for the proper people. After all of that Abenomics, all of that quantitative easing, that in ratio to U.S. GDP is 3 times greater. Hey, but look at that Nikkei index. Really neat, right? Up over 80%. That's all of this cheap money scheme. So you don't know what the criminals in charge will do to keep their gambling habit healthy. So they'll keep stealing your money any way they can and give it any name they want. So, but we still believe with all of that manipulation, before the end of the year, it's sayonara.
Yeah. We already saw a little hit from China and how it affected our markets, and understanding how the big players got out before it actually got low, how the whole thing's pretty much just a Ponzi scheme on Wall Street, and how the whole game is rigged against everyone else except for the very few, except for the very elites. Now, in these kind of extreme times, people will look for extreme answers. I think this is why maybe Trump and Bernie Sanders are kind of the two more front-running presidential candidates, both extremes on either dichotomy. What do you think of the presidential election as it's shaping out to be now, and what do you think of those two candidates?
It's the presidential reality show. That's what we called it back in our spring issue of the Trends Journal, and that was before Donald Trump got into it. And now we have a reality show champion. What I like about Trump is that he's shaking things up. What I dislike, and he is who he is, what I dislike about Sanders, he's a fraud. I voted against the Iraq War. You did, huh? You did. And you voted to fund the all of the Afghan wars, all of the budgets, all the Iraq wars. Hey, you love what they did to Gaddafi, don't you, huh, Bernie? Did you get off on that one? Because it looks like you don't get off on a lot, because you do get off on the audience when they say to you at your town meetings the slaughter that the Israelis are committing against the Palestinians, and you tell them to shut up and sit down. And what are you, a little baby that's been paid for by APEC? It's not Bernie Sanders, it's bullshit Sanders. BS is the perfect initial for him. So he's a fraud. Anybody to me, anybody that votes for Republican or Democrats are accomplices to murder and to thievery. How much more of our money do they have to steal? The names are too big to fail. Bailouts, loan guarantees, tax breaks, before you call a thief a thief. And how many more people do the Republicans and Democrats have to kill before you call them murderers? So everybody hanging on to their little sick dream that the crazy person they believe in is better than the other crazy person they don't believe in, they're as out of their mind as the psychopaths and sociopaths that they vote for. So when you look and listen to all of the presidential candidates, they're all war hawks. Not a peep about peace. Not a peep about peace. Not a peep about peace.
That is definitely right. And thank you so much for that just breakdown, because I find a lot of people are swayed either in the Trump or Bernie Sanders direction, but don't really take a step outside and take a bigger picture. And you're great at not only telling people what the picture is, but what the picture is going to be in the future. Do you have any other predictions or anything that you're forecasting happening this year?
What I'm most concerned about is a terrorist strike, be it false flag or real. You can't keep killing people all over the world and not them wanting to get even with you. Because again, they call it blowback, but it's more than that. It's, bombing back, bullets back. As we used to say in the Bronx, payback's a bitch. You're going to screw with people, they're going to get even with you. So whether it's false flag or real, all you have to do is have one major terror strike. People's mind will be off the economy. Bop, never think about it again. Gone. They won't hear you. All they'll be doing is tying yellow ribbons around everything that doesn't move and waving flags, and we got to get them over there before they come over here. To remind people that are too young to know about this, when I was a young man, a Vietnam age, draft age, to become cannon fodder, they used to say, if we don't stop those commies over there in Vietnam like dominoes, they're going to keep falling. And before you know it, they'll be falling on the shores of California. So it's the same kind of stupid psychology.
Mm-hmm. That kind of emotional manipulation that they use to bring out fear in order to get what they want, that problem reaction solution. I thank you so much for breaking things down for me. Definitely check out Occupy Peace and Gerald Celente's Trends Forecasters. Incredible breakdown. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say?
You know, tie a yellow ribbon. You know what that's from?
No.
It's from a song. Tie a yellow ribbon round the old. The guy was getting out of jail. He tied a yellow ribbon to welcome him out of jail. And everybody made up this whole other thing about it. And then, of course, to help us occupy peace by going to our website, occupypeace.us. It's not .com, it's .us, us, United States. And it's not about me, and it's not about you. It's about us. So do what you can to help us occupy peace with donations, suggestions, and actions. Because if we don't, I believe in Einstein's analysis of the Third World War. He said, I don't know how it will be fought, but the fourth will be fought with sticks and stones.
Very well said. Thank you so much. Definitely check out the websites. They're going to be in the description below. If you like this video, click subscribe and share it with all your friends. Thank you.